In this video, we'll show you how to use Ammo Mig acrylic paints. Firstly, we will apply the Ipa method, then we will apply our paints with its own acrylic thinner, and lastly, we'll apply the paint with Ammo Mig transpirator, so that we can examine the usage differences between the three of them. The first thing we're going to do is to get our paint and get it ready. As with every acrylic paint, we need to shake Ammo Mig paint very well at first. We shake it quickly by holding the top and bottom of the bottle. Ammo already thought about this process and put a metal bowl inside each can for ease of shaking. After giving it a good shake, our paint is ready. Let's start with IPA at first. We open our IPA bottle and take it out with a pipette. Then we put 4 scales of IPA into our airbrush. The scale we use here is 4:1, meaning 4 scales of IPA and 1 scale of paint. Since we just put in 12 drops of IPA, we're going to put in 3 drops of paint. Then we mix our paint with the help of a brush. Before using our airbrush, we bring the air pressure to the level of approximately 1 bar and test our paint. Then we start the process. At first, we start to paint with a light misting method. You do not need to pull the trigger back too much during this process. As with any alcohol paint, if we're working on this paint for a long time, we need to stir it again with the help of a brush. Because alcohol changes the structure of the paint, the pigments sink to the bottom and the alcohol goes up. This causes the quality of use of your paint in the airbrush to decrease. We're doing the misting process and then we will move on to the concealer. The reason why we use the misting technique in this step is to ensure that the paint hangs on to the surface better. In this way, the paint on the surface allows us to get direct results without any drippage or burning. Now we will move on to the masking process after our base paint. I use Green Stuff World Masking Putty for masking. The special feature of this masking putty is that it easily takes the shape you want. It provides full adhesion on the surface and thus, during the process paint, it doesn't leak under it. In addition, it doesn't leave any oil or traces behind. Thus, it doesn't cause any deformation in our main color. After preparing our camouflage pattern with masking putty, we start to apply our green color. We use Ammo Mig green for this step. Again, we start by shaking our paint well. This time, we will use Ammo Mig acrylic thinner instead of IPA to thin our paint. On the contrary to the previous one, our scale rates are changing to 3:1. This time, we will apply 1 thinner for every 3 paint scales, meaning we will use 10 drops of thinner and 30 drops of paint. Again, we mix our paint well with the help of a brush. Thus, there will be no error in the pigment structuring. It's always useful to put the thinner in the airbrush first, because if the thinner enters your machine first, the possibility of clogging of your machine is reduced. Now we're going to start our camouflage painting. The important thing here is to start with a thin mist coat again. Because the paint that we use is an acrylic paint, they have a different structure from lacquer paint. For this reason, applying it in layers will provide better results. In other words, it'll have a silky appearance. Since the paint that we use is acrylic paint, it dries quickly. Yet, we still give the paint an additional time to dry between layers so that there will be no buildup. After our green painting is finished, we remove the masking putty from the surface. When masking putty is kneaded again, it regains its old color and forms as if no paint has touched on it. Now we're kneading it again, the product will absorb the paint since it is petroleum based. This means you can use this masking putty over and over again countless times. We will do the masking process again to apply the third coat of brown paint. We will use Ammo Mig NATO Brown for this step. Again, we start by shaking it well. Unlike our first two paints, we will use Ammo Mig Transpirator in this process. This product makes the paints we use more transparent, which means it's a thinner product. Our rate here is the same. We're going to do a 3:1, so we add 4 drops of transpirator and 12 drops of paint. We will apply this process with a pressure of 1 bar. After our painting process, our camouflage was completed thanks to using Ammo Mig paints. We thinned our first yellow color with IPA, thinned our second green paint with Ammo Mig thinner, and finally thinned our brown paint with Ammo Mig Transpirator. Alright, that's it for today. See you guys in our next video. And as always, if you like this video and want to see more, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And happy paintings!